welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
How you
you.
doing?
All right, guys, let's start with Nick. If you could be any athlete, who would you want to be?
There's no question about it. I would be Michael Jordan. I know he's not a current athlete. I know it's a cliche. I want to see what is inside that guy that drives him. Michael Jordan, to me, is the only guy I've ever watched that could literally decide to do something and there would be nothing that you could do about it. The guy could be, listen, I have the flu. I'm going to go out and score 55 points in the finals. You can't stop me. That guy literally owned at will. Michael Jordan was the greatest player never once in a million years would he drum up an excuse for a circumstance. I think he's special. He has it right here.
Same question? Without a doubt, it's Derek Jeter. I just want to know what it feels like to have 50,000 people chanting your name, clapping for you. It's always been Derek Jeter for me. I've always said if I could be one person, it would be Derek Jeter. So it's got to be Derek Jeter.
2 questions. Your favorite sport to follow and your least favorite sport to follow. Matt, we'll start with you. Favorite sport to follow and least favorite sport.
Me first?
Yep.
Favorite sport to follow is tough between baseball and basketball. I would probably say the NBA, though. Basketball, definitely. Least favorite sport to follow is probably hockey. I'm not a big hockey fan. I've never been, so.
I would agree, hockey-wise, my least favorite sport to follow. To be honest, guys, sometimes it's almost a nuisance that I even have to watch it. I mean, I start off, I play fantasy hockey with my friends. I know the players. I get into it. You know, week 3, it's like, okay, we get it. I definitely like following baseball more than any other sport. I know it's a grind day in and day out, 162 games. I just love it. I'm obsessed with baseball. I'm a nerd with the stats, and I'm on top of it every single day.
All right, Nick, what's your favorite sports movie?
I'd say Remember the Titans. I mean, I know it's a newer movie. I'm not the oldest guy in the world. I mean, I'm only 25, but that movie really hit hard. That's a powerful movie. You know, Denzel Washington makes a sports movie work. It's like, wow, you have Hollywood and you have sports all in one. A lot of passion. You know, it transcended sports. You know, Hollywood Disney movie, but it really worked. It was a beautiful movie.
All right, Matt, what's your favorite sports book?
Sports book? Sports book? And it sounds corny because I just gave you a Derek Jeter answer, but it's got to be, I had a Derek Jeter biography book when I was younger. I forget what year it was or how old I was, but I don't read many books, but I'd probably have to say a Derek Jeter biography.
Have either of you ever called into WFAN?
Yeah, I've called in a couple times. I mean, my schedule's crazy. I'm working. I listen all the time.
Right.
I'm always that guy, though, that's like 5 minutes away from the toll. So if I call in, I'm going to get a cop going, here's $90 ticket, enjoy, you know? So with respect to that, I mean, all the time I'm listening. I love the lineup. I'm definitely into it. I don't get to call in quite as much as I would like, but I'm hoping that I could become a bigger part of that starting here today.
I did. I called one time. I called the schmooze. It was right around the Tiger Woods scandal when that thing broke and the press conference that he had when he didn't field any questions at all. So I had to get something off my chest about that. But I did call the schmooze one time.
All right. Ready to go? All right, Nick, you're up first. Matt, if you want to step to the side. Got 2 minutes on the clock. Go for it.
You're rocking with the Golden Boy on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, heart on my sleeve, dream on the line. Live in front of 100 strong at Mickey Spillane's in Eastchester, New York. And how could you not? How could you not start with the Yankees? For the past 9 months, we, the Yankee fans, have been walking around like suckers, waiting patiently. And we do not like to wait in New York for the pitcher that would turn us back into baseball royalty. Let's look at this like kindergartners for a second, guys. Far and away, this team's biggest need is a number 2 behind CeCe in the starting rotation. All year long, and then some. We've preached patience. We've waited for July. Our prospects are stacked. The payroll is way down. But you're telling me, in the win-now capital of the world, while our aging stars drive themselves into the ground, in an offseason with garbage available at starting pitcher, that we turned our backs on number 28 because we didn't like the prospect price of a deal? The Cleveland Indians, the Pittsburgh Pirates, were all in on their prospects at the deadline, guys. And the New York Yankees stood pat with a Swiss cheese rotation and a very, very old team. What happened to the mission statement? Where is our pride? Where is our pride as the New York Yankees? George Steinbrenner is rolling over in his grave right now. You think we would have learned our lesson last year when we passed on Cliff Lee just to watch him knock us out of the ALCS and make the Phils the favorites to win it all this year? And in case anyone forgot, let me remind you what time it is. Yankee fans do not fork over obscene bank for tickets to watch some punk prospect bobble a routine plop-up. Yankee fans don't pay $30 for parking and drop $10 on hot dogs to watch Cashman get cute with the kids. If you have an opportunity to go out there and bag a King Felix, even an Eric Bedard and Ubaldo Jimenez, you go out there and you do it in a New York minute.
Let's switch over to the Mets. If you're running that organization, are you optimistic about the future? Are you pessimistic about the future? How do you feel about the Mets moving forward?
You know, it's interesting because it's a year later from when I was up on this very stage talking about the Mets' financial situation, and no one really still has any idea what's going on. I mean, you know, assuming that the Mets are financially solvent, there's some reason to be optimistic. You know, maybe you re-sign Jose Reyes. You have some up-and-coming young players. You have some prospects now. They have a kid, Matt Harvey. The New York Mets just made a great trade for Wilson from San Francisco. They have some chips. I mean, if they have the money to hold on to Jose Reyes and do other things, not just go, okay, Jose Reyes, here's your money, now we can't do anything else, then I feel good about it. But I don't really know what's behind the covers, guys, to be honest with you.
All right, NFL, who's going to have the better season, Jets or Giants, and why?
It's not even close. I mean, it pains me to say it. I'm a huge Giant fan. The New York Jets are a much better football team from top to bottom. I really don't even know why we bothered meeting with Plaxico Burress. Maybe he forgot to clean out some of his stuff from the locker room from 2 years ago. But a couple days later, he signed with the New York Jets. The Giants have not added anybody. The Giants have question marks with the O-line, with the secondary, with the running back situation. Is Brandon Jacobs going to even bother showing up because he got his money? I'm not optimistic as a Giant fan at all, but I'm going to be there rooting for him from the start.
Give us a 30-second Super Bowl preview.
30-second Super Bowl preview. It's without question going to be the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC. It almost makes me want to puke saying that here, standing in front of you guys at Mickey Spillane's as a Giant fan. But the Eagles are stacked. The Eagles have Vic. God knows what Michael Vick still has left in the tank because he's done stuff already we couldn't even believe. They have Michael Vick. They have a great running back. They have a great secondary. They have a great defense. They have, Rogers Cromartie now. They have Asamoah. They are stacked, and they're still like $30 million under the salary cap. It's ridiculous. And then in the AFC, I like the Pats. I just think they're winners. They look at the situation and they make the best of it. Bill Belichick gets the best out of his guys. They're going to do everything it takes to turn Hainsworth and Chad Ochocinco back into difference makers. And when you have Tom Brady, you're always one step away.
All right, Nick, thank you very much.
No problem.
Matthew, you've got your 2 minutes, and you're on the clock.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back. It's OB on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN in the one and only New York City. So the one and only Tiki Barber just worked out for the Dolphins on Tuesday. And I got to tell you, I don't know what it is about his comeback that has me so interested. But ever since that HBO documentary a while back, I can't stop thinking about it. And I really have no idea why, but I think maybe it's because there's only been one other person who's pissed me off, excuse my language, more than Tiki Barber over the last half a decade, and that's been LeBron James. But you already know exactly how I feel about LeBron, so I'm not going to get into that. What I will get into, though, is Tiki Barber and how I can't understand for the life of me, I can't seem to wrap my head around, if you will, how anybody can really feel sorry or feel bad for Tiki Barber at all. Because personally, I don't have 1 ounce of sympathy for Tiki Barber. And I'm sorry if I'm being harsh, but the truth is that Tiki has made mistake after mistake. He's burned bridge after bridge, and he's alienated everybody along the way. And I'm not going to sit here and go through the list of every dumb thing he said and every dumb thing he's done, but that's only because I have 2 minutes. As far as the football side of it goes, if Tiki wants to come back, fine. So be it. I don't have a problem with it, and neither should you really, because he's blessed. He is blessed to have the opportunity now to come back and play football, especially when he's at a low point in his life, especially when he says he needs it the most. But that's just what bothers me, is Tiki saying that he's depressed now, and that's why he's coming back, and that's why he, quote, needs the game now. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, I can't, because I just don't think it's true. I don't think coming back to football is going to fill that empty space in his life. What he really needs the game now for is to fill that empty space in his wallet. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. I'll take more of your calls on Tiki Barber on the other side of the break. 877-337-6666 is the number to call. It's OB, it's the Fan, Sports Radio 66. I'm coming right back at you. Do not touch that radio.
All right, let's move over to baseball and the Yankees. How are you going to fix A.J. Burnett, or is he not fixable?
I don't know if he's fixable. I really don't. But I don't want to hear this nonsense about contracts and A.J. Burnett's contract. Therefore, he's got to be our number 2 starter in the postseason. I don't want to hear it. Give him the rest of the regular season. The Yankees are only a game back of the Red Sox. But I don't want to hear it. As of right now, if the playoffs started today, here's what I want. I want CeCe Sabathia, Colon, Garcia, Nova. And that's the honest-to-God truth. That's what I have confidence in. But I don't want to hear this garbage about Burnett's contract. I don't know if he's fixable. Give him the rest of the regular season to figure it out. And if he can, let's go with those 4 guys.
If you're running the Mets, do you re-sign Jose Reyes?
I think you have to. I really do. I think you have to. He's 28 years old. The Mets did everything backwards. They had a lineup full of power hitters, and they built a gigantic ballpark that's almost impossible to hit home runs in. You got to build that team around speed, pitching, and defense. And Reyes isn't a pitcher, but he does have speed, and he's got great defense, and he can hit doubles and triples, put it in the gap. You have to re-sign Reyes. Have to.
All right, on the NBA lockout, is there going to be a season this year?
I hope so. I really do. Billy Hunter just came out and said there won't be. It would be a shame if there wasn't, because the NBA right now is really starting to take off. So let's hope. Let's hope.
All right, Matthew, thank you very much.
All right, thank you guys very much. Thanks for listening.